and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi folks, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
And together we have the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course,
Brad,
Bob.
today you want to talk about how long does it take sciatica to heal? I guess basically by sciatica we're saying a herniated disc.
Typically at pain down the leg, oftentimes from that herniated disc. We get this
question
all the time on our comments. People are asking, how long does it take for this to heal? I got football coming up in a month. Am I going to make it?
I think the short answer, Brad, is we cannot tell you how long it's going to take.
Right.
But the longer answer would be that, first off, what we see quite often is that the pain is going to go away within 3 to 4 weeks, or maybe even sooner.
Right.
I mean, we might be able to give you immediate relief if you do some of the right things.
Right.
But you're going to be at risk probably for a long time.
Right. People who have serious back pain, even if it's not serious, the studies show that your chance of having it again in the future are higher than people that have
exactly. Because a lot of times you're doing the same things that caused it in the first place. And that's why towards the end of this video, we're going to talk about some of those things. What you want to do to give yourself a better chance of healing and a better chance of it not happening again.
Right. It's more than just things you do for a week. It's habits, how you sit, how you lift, how you perform your life. It's like brushing your teeth. If you only brush your teeth once a week, you're going to have teeth problems.
You're going to have problems.
You have to be consistent, on a regular basis.
I think just by the very nature of what's healing, Brad, some of those tissues that we're talking about, that, when they talk about other parts of the body and similar tissues, it can take up to a year before the healing is really done.
Right, because the disc does not have a good blood supply.
Right, exactly.
It's not readily available. It takes much longer for that disc, that annular area of the disc to heal because of that blood supply issue.
We want to make sure that it's very clear, though, that doesn't mean you're going to have pain for a year by any means whatsoever. That we can get the pain sometimes to go away within a week.
Sure.
But you're going to have to be careful from that point on.
Exactly. So, we're going to have 3 main categories we're going to go through to help you maintain that pain-free back.
Before we do that, Brad.
Yes.
If you haven't already, if you're new to our channel, please take a minute to subscribe. We got a subscribe button right over, we're going to show Brad, right on the screen. We upload a video every day on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and this is one of those examples.
Right. We go from pretty much head to toe, don't we, Bob?
Right.
Okay.
Moving on.
Okay. So I want to talk about a study that I looked over to find out the answer to those questions on how long it takes for it to heal. And I came across a study, and we do a lot of videos that based on the McKenzie system, which talk about centralizing. In other words, that pain that's going down the leg, if you can eliminate that and centralize it, in other words, get rid of the pain in the leg and have the pain in your back, that's the first big step in treatment.
Yeah, normal pain pattern with a herniated disc or a sciatica is that you first start feeling in your butt, then it goes down the back of the leg, and off and down the calf. It can go in the front too, and down into the foot. So what Brad is saying, the more that we can get the pain to come up, and go out of the foot first, then out of the calf, then out of the thigh, then into the buttock, then out of the buttock into the back, the better you are off.
So if you fit into that category, you can get rid of the leg pain first. In this study, 68% of those people progress very well to the way out.
And they were called the centralizers because the pain's centralized in their back.
Right.
And that's a good sign.
Right. And the people who had problems or couldn't centralize or didn't, they are at 52%. So they're still a little over half.
Yeah, there's hope if you don't centralize.
Right. It's just better.
Right. I can tell you anecdotally, for the people that I see, the ones that centralize, they tend to do very well a lot quicker.
Exactly.
And the ones that don't, it takes a long time.
Exactly.
So,
and
this is our opinion, my opinion.
And mine too. I just saw yesterday, I saw a 22-year-old male injured himself at work, and I had him doing the press-ups, Bob. His calf muscle, which was really tight, pain in the foot, went 50% less in just a matter of minutes. And I'm smiling because it's like, this guy's going to get better pretty darn quick.
The worst sign is when the pain goes out of your back and goes just into your leg. That's a terrible sign.
When you get it stuck down in the leg and the foot, you can't get it.
And you don't have anything in the back anymore, that's not a good sign.
You think you can connect one of those videos up about the absolute best?
Sure.
Yeah.
How to do a sciatica. Yeah, I'll put that up right here.
Right. Is it there?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, thank you.
Now it's gone. All right. So the thing is, and Brad, you had mentioned a study in one of our other videos about how what the factors tend to cause people to really get the sciatica return.
Sure.
And so these are the same factors that cause it, the same factors that will help you. You know, if you do these things wrong, it won't heal as quickly.
Right.
So they're all the same things. So we should talk about those.
I think, yeah, and I think the first category I want to talk about is seated posture.
Yeah.
Seated posture can tear up your back, and more than anything, I believe.
If you drive a lot, in fact, that's what that study showed. People that drove more than an hour one way,
Yeah, well, 2 hours a day.
2 hours a day,
Yeah.
so an hour of one direction and back again, they put them at a much higher risk for having sciatica again, and it makes sense.
And this is assuming, and this is people are not aware of good seated posture. And if we look at a car seat, now this is not a good model for it, but oftentimes they allow your back to slump. And when this part of your back rounds the opposite direction of natural, which is arched in this direction, we go the opposite direction, you got the hole in the chair, the hollow spot, that puts stress on that disc. And that's going to...
And plus, we have shock absorption. Your
Right.
body is going... And a lot of people, if they lean their seat back, that's what's going to cause them to slouch even
Right,
more.
'cause they're reaching
you want the
forward.
seat upright, and then you do want to use some type of back support.
Sure.
Brad, in the car.
A lumbar roll, and whether it's in a car, I think we can mention the computer workstation.
Exactly.
At the computer workstation, might be slouching. The same concept. You can use. You can just take a towel out from your bathroom and tape
As
it
a
up
start,
like this. Make sure don't get your wife's favorite towel though. Get the proper one.
Right.
And you're going to put it back there about at the belt line. And you're going to put that there, and it's going to feel like very good support. It's going to actually make the pain go down when you lean up against it. You can say, "This is right."
What's nice about the towels is that you can vary the size of it.
Exactly.
And a lot of times people who are in the throes of back pain, when they're experiencing the sciatica, sometimes they like the bigger.
Sure.
That's
Yep.
what I've found.
Yep.
And then later on, when it's more preventative or when the pain is gone, like Brad and I like this. This is
Right.
what we use in the car.
Right. It's a firm, dense styrofoam type material, and this is exactly what I have one, and then sometimes I use two of them depending on how my back feels, and I'll use that there. But a lumbar support. As a matter of fact, there's a person that commented. I hope she's listening today. She's doing yoga, or no, meditation, and if she's doing meditation like this.
Yeah, look at this. Look at it. His back is rounded out. This is a lot of stress on your back.
This is a good way to make a herniated disc worse.
Yeah.
Or keep it from
Or
healing.
keep it from getting better.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. So sitting on a hard floor is another way that sitting can really slow down, create problems, or
It's really good to try to break up sitting, by the way.
Sure.
And when you're sitting in the office during the day, really try to get up. Honestly, if you have back pain, in fact, Brad and I talked about this in another video. I had an episode of back pain when I was a student.
Sure.
And I didn't sit at all. And you didn't either. You had an episode, right?
Right, yep. And I did my work at a high table.
Yeah, and that's what I did. I went into a countertop. I did my notes on
Right.
it. I didn't sit at all.
Right.
I'd either lay down or I'd stand up. So that just shows you how, back pain has become a sitting problem
Right.
rather than a lifting
And
problem.
we hate to be kicking the dead
horse. Yeah.
but this is really important.
Oh,
So-
it is. That's probably the first thing you're going to look at. If you're driving in your car, you have to drive long distances. Break it up if you can. Stop at that gas station,
Sure.
get the cup of Joe, and walk around the car a few
Right.
times.
I think another big one is little things like how many times you have someone that has back problems, they say, geez, when I brush my teeth or do the dishes, it kills me. And it's usually because they're bending forward, and this little bit of bend on an irritated back can really irritate it after a few minutes of standing like this.
Let's just show lifting too, Brad.
Sure, yep, let's go into lifting mechanics.
So I'll lift wrong first.
Sure, go ahead, Bob.
So a lot of people just keep their legs straight and they bend right down, right? Because it's a very light object. Why?
Right.
They'll pick up a pencil or whatever.
And you get things all rounded out. It puts a lot of stress right there.
And it doesn't matter if you're picking up a feather, Brad.
Right.
Because you're putting a lot of stress on your back. even if you're not lifting anything.
Now, take this into consideration, Bob. Another thing I wanted to think about, maybe you're in your car for 3 hours sitting with poor posture, and then you get out to pick up the pencil off the floor.
Yeah.
It's not bending up and picking the pencil that did it. It was that 3 hours of sitting with
Right.
poor posture.
So with good posture, a lot of times you get a good athletic base,
Wide.
maybe staggered like this, or wide based, and then you can bend down. I'm keeping everything straight like it's in a cast.
Right, that's why I'm holding on to this.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to hit Bob with it.
Yeah. You can see how I keep the straight line
Here,
in my
let's
back.
turn.
Oh.
There you go. So they got to. We're just using that
that.
for a straight edge.
So all you got to do is hire someone to follow you with a straight edge
Right,
like this,
exactly.
and make sure you're lifting right.
And there'll be people that'll do that for you.
Oh yeah, there's lots of people looking for work. So a lot of times I give the cue that you want to stand and lift like you got a cast on,
Right.
and if you if you bent wrong, you'd actually break the cast.
Exactly.
So-
I think the bottom line is, how long does it take to heal? There is no specific time.
I think healing could be going on a year later yet.
Right.
So I think get rid of the pain and then be careful.
Change your body mechanics, eliminate the stress on that disc by doing the things we just talked about, doing them properly and consistently. It's not easy.
Right. Thanks for watching,
All
folks.
right, take care.